Time is a finite resource, a bitter reminder that our time on this earth is neither guaranteed nor absolute. As the clock ticks by, with every moment comes a choice. Some seem inconsequentially small, while others appear insurmountably large, with each having an impact, whether seen or unseen. Etched into the unchanging walls of history, and inherently intertwined with those that surround us, every choice made a permanent reminder of who we are, the lives we lead, and the influence we have. 5 months ago, my career as a high school cross-country runner came to an end, and I ran my last race. I crossed the finish line one last time, and that was that. It wasn't momentous or remarkable. Time simply brought it to an end. This realization that something was ending forced a change upon me. I thought that my racing career had ended that day, and in a way it had. But then it hit me. Each and every day, we all run our own races through life. We all face our own daily finishes, our own battles, our own little victories, and our own defeats. What separates us are the principles, the basic framework that guides us through it all. As a runner and a participant in the daily challenge that we call life, one strategy from my coach has consistently guided me through every race I've ever run. Run the first mile of every race with your head, the second with your legs, and the third with your heart. Coming from the most mundane of places, how do I run a 3-mile race? I believe that it answers a fundamental question to living life. What does it take to bridge where we are right now to where we want to be? At the start of my running career, I had no idea what I was doing, and after 6 years, I still really don't. This one piece of advice has stuck with me. Head, legs, heart. So bring yourself to a start line. Even if you've never run a race before, find some starting point in your life. Put yourself in an entirely unfamiliar situation, or even a routine one, and maybe a new day, a new project, a new interaction, or anything in between. Ready? Bang. Starting gun goes off, your race has started. What do? Use your head. Don't get ahead of yourself, but be ambitious. So this talk is actually sandwiched between our school musical's Tech Week and opening night. I love what I do because as our school's technical director, I get to sit at a table buried in the back of our auditorium, wear all black so I'm invisible when the lights are out, and not talk to a soul. Every introvert's dream. But tomorrow, for the first time in my drama career, instead of sitting back, out of sight and out of mind, I'll be on stage, singing and dancing in front of people as a radio DJ? Well, people have always told me that I have the face for radio. I'm absolutely terrified because being on stage is way outside of my comfort zone. I've always been the kid that makes my friends look and sound good on stage, not the one actually up there. But I couldn't imagine a tomorrow where I didn't do it, where I didn't take the leap outside of my comfort zone. I didn't, and still really don't, have any formal dancing skills or vocal training, but I had a plan. Sometimes your legs and your heart get ahead of themselves. That's why I was taught to lead with my head, my intellect, my thoughts. Part of running through the daily races of life, whether that be getting through a class, to applying to college, to working through a job, is constant learning. You have to be open to advice. You cannot and will not ever be able to give it all you've got if you're not willing to change. So a big part of my role has involved actually becoming it, researching in depth as to how my character acted in that time period, studying past productions, and delving into the details. Immerse yourself in the background of everything you do, study the greats, and learn from the pros. Our daily endeavors are built by those that came before us, and I believe that it's our responsibility to take their knowledge and make something of our own of it. I believe that we'll regret it if we don't. Hey, look, now we're at mile 2. Now it's time to run this with your legs. Your legs are the means by which you traverse the trials of life, and completing this mile will be nothing short of grueling, but necessary. This mile in itself is the hardest of the 3, as you have to put in the time and effort as you struggle to find your place. For me tomorrow, that involves memorizing lines. And that was Britney Spears with Hit Me Baby One More Time. You're listening to Z2000 FM, music for the new millennium. At the moment, that's what it means for me. In our daily lives, this could mean anything from studying to working through a job to just performing the basic task that gets you through the day. But it's not always smooth sailing. It's not a matter of if your legs will get stuck in the mud, but when. There will always be setbacks, there will always be obstacles, and there will always be times when it's easier to just quit. But that's okay. It's a fact of life. Let your experience guide you. It provides a roadmap to get through this mile. Work alone if you must, but find something. Find someone to chase. Surround yourself with people that can push you through and pull you out when you're ready. Build that community that just gets you and sees you in a different light than you see yourself. Because oftentimes, that's exactly what you need to get through this second mile. So how do we get to the finish line now? What's the common denominator necessary in every decision in the process along the way? Your heart. Passion, investment, commitment. This mile in itself is a reflection of character, a product of who we are as leaders, as community members, as human beings. Your heart must guide your passions. Get lost in it. Complacency and convenience, however, often override your heart. But where does that get you? Sometimes your heart has to override everything else. I am not a natural runner, nor will I ever be able to be one. If I had listened to my head and my legs when I went on my first run, they would have told me, Nathan, stop right now. You're gonna die. You can't do this. You're not ready for this. But I did it anyways because my heart was all in. I am by no means an actor. I'm absolutely terrified of being on stage. If I had listened to my legs and my mind when auditioning to be here with you tonight, or for my school's musical, they would have told me, Nathan, you're crazy. You can't possibly be on stage. You could never do 2 back-to-back productions. But if I could run a 3-mile race, why couldn't I perform in front of an audience? Sometimes you just have to say, shut up legs or shut up head, because you could work your butt off for every day in your life or know everything there is to know about something, but if your heart isn't completely in it, well, it's going to be pure hell. What I'm trying to say here is that we aren't meant to live our lives in a state of complacency. We aren't meant to be the same person every day when we wake up, and sometimes where we are right now isn't where we're meant to be. We don't go through life to simply run the race. We journey through it to find who we are. We're defined by who we choose to be. So think back to anything you've ever achieved. Remember that there was once a time when you couldn't do it, but there will also always be a time when you can. 6 years ago, I couldn't have imagined myself running for more than 10 minutes, and 6 months ago, I would have dropped dead at the thought of being on stage. But I'm here today because I had a plan and I want to pass that on to you. Sometimes all you need is that one spark to light the flame of the torch passed on by those before you, to illuminate a path started that only you can complete. It's true in anything we do. What we need is a strategy that allows us to see where in life we want to be a great parent, a great student, a great teacher, a great coach, a great neighbor, a great friend. I may forget a lot of my races, and I suppose if I'm lucky, I may be able to forget a lot of the daily suffering that came with running. But I'll tell you what I'm not going to forget. Head, legs, heart. It's a template, it's a strategy that will open doors far more important in my life than running. These are things that will carry with me whether I ever buy another pair of running shoes or not. I don't know what your passion is, but I do believe that this can work for you. In search of an endeavor or passion, it's a template that just needs a home. We're all looking to get to the finish line as a winner, no matter what we do. Find success in your own right. So let today be held as a reminder to pursue your passions, to leave your mark on this earth, to conquer your daily races with your head, your legs, and most importantly, your heart. Thank you.